Hey guys, me and my dad here. Today we're going to talk about Conker, and right now I'm holding a rare replay of 30 games that we got for the Xbox One, and we had it for Nintendo 64, Conker, like on the Overdrive.
Everdrive.
Everdrive.
Just a warning, we try to keep it family friendly on the channel, but we are talking about a mature game right now, so just know that if you're gonna have your kids play this game, it does have adult language and situations and stuff in it, even though it's from Rare.
It's not too violent, but sometimes it does have
Sometimes
blood.
it gets pretty violent,
Yeah,
actually.
sometimes it does have blood in it.
But Rare, if you don't know, used to be a big partner with Nintendo and made all kinds of great games for Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 and the Nintendo Entertainment System. And games like Donkey Kong Country, Banjo-Kazooie. So most of the Rare games are family friendly and just fun, but the story behind Conker is that when they first showed it, people were saying, oh, that's more of the same, that's too much like Banjo-Kazooie, that's just typical Rare, and that upset the people at Rare, so they decided to scrap what the original concept for the game was going to be and instead make something totally mature and really surprise everybody. Yeah, so there was some controversy surrounding the game because people were concerned that they were going to think it was for kids, so Nintendo Power wouldn't feature it. I believe it wasn't released. Some stores wouldn't carry it, just because it does look cartoony, but it does contain mature things. So what do you want to say about it?
So it's pretty fun, and then it does have a lot of ways where it could be like Banjo and Kazooie, but a lot of it now isn't like it, and how it's mature is now it says the S word or the D word or the H word, and then sometimes if you could get really drunk, and then you go if you drink a lot of alcohol or something, you go start peeing a part of it, you pee on a bunch of it's a lot of parts where you actually pee for useful things on it.
So it is a shocking and funny game. One thing that struck me playing through it, I had only tried it briefly when it was new, and I hadn't played it until we got the Everdrive last year. That was one of the first ones that we wanted to play just because it costs so much to try to actually buy it. To get a copy of it now is anywhere from like $80 on the low end to like $120. So that's a lot of money for one old game. But playing through it, I was kind of surprised that it was not intuitive a lot of times. I think it's more fun to watch some of it than it is to play it. There's a lot of times where I didn't really know what to do, and part of that's because it didn't explain controls. It switches mechanics all the time on you, and it doesn't always explain how to control in new situations. So that part was actually pretty frustrating, and I had to watch Let's Plays for help or look up tips. So that part was actually surprisingly annoying.
Yeah, and one part of the game where you're at or you get into this rock club, and then it's pretty hard to figure out how to go somewhere to go. It took me and my dad a little while because you had to pee. It was this guy dancing by this hole, and you had to pee on him, and then before you if you pee on them, they'll turn into a regular rock, a circle, and then make him fall, and then get undrunk first, and then go in the hole, and then I kind of forgot.
But that's a good situation to talk about actually, because you already know you have to pee, and you can figure out how to do that, but then it doesn't tell you holding down one of the buttons makes the stream go farther and makes it easier to control. So without knowing that, you're already peeing, so you think, well, you're already doing it, but you have to do it the other way. and then it's not that intuitive what to do, and it's kind of hard to sneak by, like without getting knocked off a ledge. Some things, so that part's kind of frustrating. There's a fight near the end where you're basically fighting a xenomorph, and it seems obvious in some ways what to do, but then there's some stuff I remember I didn't know you could do as far as button presses, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was another situation where if they just explained the controls a little, I would have figured it out, but instead I'm just kind of fumbling around, and I didn't realize you had to, like, I think you have to throw it out of the ship or something, I forget. But there was a lot of situations like that, and it's open world, kind of like Banjo-Kazooie, but it's also more linear than that, where you're supposed to progress a certain way, I think, because you can't really open up other areas.
Yeah, and then like the thing that, like, also like besides it being like mature, like other thing that's different about it with Banjo and Kazooie is that like in Banjo Kazooie you can go to like a lot of places at once, and then like try to collect the things a lot and go like to a lot of places, but on Conker you have to stay in one place and then like stay in that place for a while until like you get first, like you can't really score like on Banjo and Kazooie. Like you have to first beat all the things it wants you to do, then like go in the next area, and then like when you beat that area, then you have more places to go.
And there's not a ton of reason to go back to old areas you've already beaten. If you've already collected what there is to collect there, and it's not like Banjo-Kazooie where there's tons to collect. And the most important thing you're collecting is money that you use for different things, to open up different areas, basically.
And here's one thing I noticed that seems weird, is that always when like you're paying money to do stuff, like ends up being that like after you pay for stuff, the money is alive on this game, so it just like costs back to you after.
Yeah, so you pay money, and then basically you just get it back, so it's kind of silly.
Yeah.
But the jokes and stuff I thought held up well. It's Rare's a British company, so it's fairly British humor, and everything has accents and stuff, but I like that kind of humor. Some of it was a little dated though, like it has movie parodies and things, like a Matrix parody. How many times we have to see Matrix parodies and things, and that part was actually kind of hard to do, so I had to do it a bunch of times, so it's like I have to relive this Matrix parody like 20 times while we try to get through it. Remember, that's when it slows down and you're jumping in the air and shooting.
Oh yeah, I copy movies, and sometimes got really funny jokes. Like the first time you die on the game, like like first you go to this like what's the Grim Reaper?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then like he's telling you how you have a lot of like lives and tails, and then that happens the first time you die, and then it's not really that bad if you die really on this Conker, and then like the game could be pretty violent sometimes, like at one part where like you're going to like this place, and then like all your like catfish want you to help them like with this dog or something. Then I could tell it's copying Jaws because it has like the music, and then it's like this sea creature dog that like is
dogfish.
Yeah. Then,
but it's like a head of a bulldog or something on a fish body, and the catfish are similar.
Yeah, and then like it's pretty fun because once you leave the place, like the dogs start, like when you get out of the water, the dog starts ripping up all the catfish, like killing them. There's a bunch of blood going in the water.
Yeah, or like that cow when the cows keep getting killed by the bull.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty. There's also a lot of poop jokes in the game. I mean like a lot. Like you're going to poop worlds, and you're causing cows to poop, and you have to fight a giant poop. That's probably the most famous part of the game. If you know anything about the game, it's probably the battle with the great mighty Pooh.
I am the great mighty Pooh. God prepared for me to throw my at you.
You got the words wrong a little, but you get the idea. So it's a giant monster made of poop that you fight by throwing toilet paper in his mouth.
Yeah, and then he's dumb. He sings while you're fighting. Like, you throw stuff at you. It's pretty hard because, like, some parts that, like, are, like, just these edges, and sometimes, like, it's going to be poop in the way for you can't go to these spots.
Again, that's a good example. Like, it's a fun part of the game you're enjoying. It's the most well-known part, and it's funny. But I had to play it over and over because there's parts where you have to do some pretty far jumping between platforms, and there's also poop raining from the ceiling that messes you up, and the jumping's so imprecise that I kept dying on a couple very long, difficult jumps.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's funny and we're having a good time, but it's less funny when I'm having to do it over a dozen times.
And then, like, also, like, it's copies movies and makes fun of movies quite a bit. Like, again, it's copying Jaws, making fun of Jaws, where, like, before you fight the great mighty Pooh, like, when you look in the hole where he's going to appear, first you see, like, this cheese, like, it's these cheeses. I forgot what they exactly do. Do you remember the cheese? Oh, yeah, like the cheese. Oh, no, I forgot. But anyways, like, first you see it, like,
I think you're thinking of the sweet corn.
Yeah, the sweet corn, yeah, and then it's like swimming, and then all of a sudden it gets sucked up down and find a great mighty Pooh.
Yeah, so let's kind of summarize because we've been talking for a little while. So basically, it's funny, it's an interesting idea. Some parts will really have you laughing. Some parts are kind of dated. Some of it's fun to play. Some of it's actually kind of frustrating.
Some of it could be not that good, but like at part of it, I didn't like it. It just made me sad because like when you're like back in time at this part, and then it's this dinosaur, and then it hatches out of his egg, and then you like use it to help you like kill bad guys and things, and then after that, like you let it stay at this part, but then it gets crushed by a rock, and then you see a bunch of blood after that.
That's true. Or like when you're in the war and you're getting that other guy blown up or something. Yeah, there's some stuff like that.
Yeah, and then like also like first we'll talk about the war after I say this, but
well, we're kind of summarizing. We're not going into all these details now. We're kind of finishing the video.
Okay, yeah, you say about some stuff about the war.
Well, I kind of was. So anyway, I think it's fun to play. We played the original one. We haven't tried the live and reloaded one that they made for
the
Xbox. I think original Xbox, yeah. We haven't tried that one yet, although a lot of people seem to prefer the original because it's less censored. I know that one has better graphics, but they changed some things, and I think they focused on the multiplayer more. We didn't really play the multiplayer at all, I don't think.
And then, like, I wanted to tell you one really funny thing I thought was really funny, like the funniest, is that, like, part of it when you're fighting Caveman and you're on a dinosaur, like, after he does, like, his big throw, you hurt his, you use the dinosaur to bump his wiener, and then you go behind him, and then, you bite his butt, and then you get to see his butt, see bite marks on it.
And then the fight ends when his pants won't get back on and everyone sees him naked and he's embarrassed.
Yeah, and then he sees butt all red.
Alright, so anything else? Any final thoughts?
Well, this game is so funny, and inappropriate, and then there's a bunch of stuff I like about it. And then if you're a person who does a bunch of jokes and likes puzzle games, and then likes platform games and funny jokes and appropriate stuff, this is the game for you.
Or maybe if you've played it already and you already know some of those things that I got stuck on, it'd be more fun for you.
And then it is one thing that I want to give you a preview of. We saw in the other video how some stuff you cut off, and then in the war, one part where you're coming in, then how it is now is that you just see two nurse guys talking, and then when they see you, they try to kill you, but then you get them. But then before, they're planning to make it for one of the sergeants on your side, they're just doing surgery to killing him when he's alive. And it was pretty disturbing, but they realized that it was really not good, so they scratched that out.
Yeah, there's other videos if you want to see stuff that was censored out of the game. What didn't make it in.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's Conker. Conker's Bad Fur Day. And did you know they were going to make Conker's Other Bad Fur Day sequel, but then they never did?
Why?
I don't know. Because Microsoft doesn't know how to manage them and just ruin them, basically.
Why? I hate you, Microsoft.
Well, I hope that they can return to glory someday and start making some great games over at Rare. So, and not make just bad games for the Kinect. All right.
Okay, that's one thing. You got